The RowdCast contains adult situations, adult themes, and adult language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Is this grand finale? The police state is back in a dark black alley. Sadly being videotaped, not knowing who's watching. 3-on-1, handcuffs stolen, they just keep on stomping. Police brutality. America, wake the fuck up! This is your reality, a life with little trust. This is the government, cause we the people see no love, which just makes this life tough, and I've just had enough. And those that agree with me, then put your hands up. And for those that don't know, I suggest you do some research. And when you do discover this truth, it's like igniting ether, awakening this beast that's hungry for the truth. And if cake is what we need, and we expect to eat it too. So excuse me for being so rude while I expose it to this truth. But how can we win a game designed for us to lose? Made to enslave our mind, body, and soul, to watch every aspect of our lives and be in control. Like the poisons in our food and water, or the diseases that our government made, like AIDS, slow decay, a decade of slaughter. Men and women, sons and daughters, disappointment would be on the face of our founding fathers if they were to see how blatantly blind the majority of you are. Now it's part of a destiny to overcome these scars. History is a lie, so is religion. Money is a hoax, and the day you're in is fiction. The media's manipulation, the government's corporations. For fuck's sake, pay attention. The whole system is a lie. Manipulation, the government's corporations. For fuck's sake, pay attention. They're taking away your rights. Manipulation, for the government's corporations. For fuck's sake, pay attention. The whole system is a lie. The media's manipulation, for the government's corporations. For fuck's sake, pay attention. They're taking away your rights. Taking away your rights. America, wake the fuck up. Quit being so distracted with Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus, and open your eyes. The war on terror is fake. The war on drugs is fake. The government sees us as the terrorists because we have the power to change the way things are. Take a look around and you'll see every other country is standing up to the government. Now it is our time before it's too late. Because as of right now, we are all still just slaves.
Welcome to the RowdCast, you dirty motherfuckers. How'd you like that shit, huh? What do you think about that one? That actually was a friend. Good friend of mine, back from the B-Town. His name is Todd James. And that was something that he put in. There's a contest, and that was his contest entry. So if you do, go to check my fucking Facebook out. It's on there, and you can vote for him there. Vote for him, man. Vote for him. He gets 250 votes. He becomes in the top 25 finalists. And if you ask me, it sounds like he's been listening to RowdCast, because that's the shit I've been talking about. And so we got to give him the nod, man. Got to give him the go ahead that we approve of what TJ is saying, because he hit the nail on the fucking head with that one. I mean, if you listen to what he said in that motherfucking song, that's pretty much how I feel. I mean, maybe we're both wrong, but what he's saying is what I'm agreeing with, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's a lot to do, and I mean, and we've talked if you go back to all the RowdCast, and yes, this is the 25th RowdCast. This is the 25th hour of rowdiness that you get to experience if you're listening. If you go back through all of them, slowly each and every one of them add up to this one. So go back and do your homework. Go back and do your research and listen to these motherfuckers. Because it all leads to this one. And proud to say that 1 through 24 is... RowdCast 1 through 24 is on YouTube. I have uploaded them all onto YouTube. And one thing, though, if you search for the RowdCast, you're going to get a bunch of them, but you don't get them all in order. And I don't know why that is. I'm trying to fix it. Yeah, it's kind of a mixed match. You get a bunch of them, but they're not in order, and they're all sorted out. So the best thing to do is look up my name, which is JordA7, JORDACE7, and then look at my collection of videos that I've uploaded, and then you'll have everyone on there. And it sucks that I have to tell you to do it that way instead of being able to put each one in. I'm working on a way to figure it out, but it has a lot to do with copyright music, and they're really fucking me hard with the copyright. That's another reason why I use TJ tonight, because I'm going to steer more away from copyright songs, and if I do use copyright material, I'm going to have to snip it out because the man's on me. The man's, limiting my shit, and he's copyrighting my shit. So I gotta work so that, my shit's not being edited, man. And that's why we like the RowdCast, right? That's why you guys are all about the RowdCast, is because it's unedited, it's uncensored, unfiltered. It's what I say, it's what I think. This is the new way of radio, man. This is the future, and this is why I do this. Because if someone's censoring my shit and telling me what I can do and what I can't do and what I can play and what I can't play, then fuck that. I don't want to do this anymore. It's the man, dude. I remember when YouTube, anything you wanted to fucking watch on YouTube, you could go to YouTube and watch it. But it's not that way anymore. We're in a different world now, and the copyright things are, they're adding ads to everything and copyrighting everything. So there's going to be some changes in the RowdCast. I don't want it to be that way, but because of the fucking, the government and the music industry and shit, it's going to have to be that way. So, and something I asked to you guys, any kind of music, local music you guys know that's kick-ass shit or new things coming up that are undiscovered artists and shit like that, send them to me, man. I'll play them because I'd like to give people that kind of exposure than instead of, mainstream music. I'd rather go the other route, So send me people that you guys like and you guys want to hear, and I'll play them. And that's where we're going with the RowdCast. Like always, before we get into it, we're live at Spreaker.com. If you're listening, jump on. Go to Spreaker.com, look up Rowdy Rad Life Radio, and you go in. You click on Live from the ATL, which is the RowdCast. And in there's a chat room. You guys can chat with me live. Anything you guys want to say, anything you guys want to fucking talk about or want me to talk about, you can put right there, and it is live. I'm still working on getting you guys interactive, man. It's I know that you're listening because I'm almost at fucking over 2,500 views. So, and that's in under 3 months. That's pretty fucking good, man. We're almost at 3,000 listens in 3 months, and I'm proud of that. So I know you guys are listening. But are you guys cooperating and listening live? Communicating live? Not so much. But it's okay. We'll get there. That's the least of my worries. The point is that you're listening, and you're listening to this fucking shit that I'm spewing out of my mouth. Appreciate every one of you guys that fucking follow me and listen to my shit and jam with me. Tonight, I'm going to talk about some serious shit, man. First and foremost, if you didn't know, now you know. They, just in last week, just last week, the the second baby born with HIV they cured. Does that mean they have a cure to HIV? I don't know. But it's the second time they've done that. Second baby ever. It was born with HIV, it's cured. It has no HIV now in the system. It's pretty fucking crazy. The jet that I talked about, the Malaysia jet that disappeared off the thing, I told you they'd find it sooner or later. They still haven't found it yet, which is pretty crazy. They're figuring out now that it strayed hundreds of miles off course. That within a an hour and 10 minutes it had totally went back and was trying to find land again, but it totally missed it and ended up in the ocean somewhere. So they're searching for it now. I said they'd find it in the ocean. I said that, which is sad, but I knew they would. But they're starting to figure that out. Unless it's like Lost and they went into a fucking time warp and they're lost on some island somewhere and no one will ever be able to find them. Who knows? There's a report, cancer will be the number one killer in the U.S. In 16 years, cancer is going to become the leading cause of death in the United States, surpassing heart disease, according to the American Society of Clinical Oncology. Cases of cancer have increased by 45%, will have increased by 45% by 2030, from 1.6 million cases to 2.3 million cases annually. That's pretty amazing, ain't it? Why the fuck does that happen? How the fuck does that grow from that? Is it that we all smoke? Is it that it's all cancer, right? Is it because we drink out of tin cans? Why is that? Why is that we're all going to have cancer? I got an idea. I think it's all the preservatives and additives that we put in our fucking food. Maybe I'm wrong. All the different things. I mean, I think smoking and drinking and shit has something to do with it, but listen, they've been smoking and drinking for years and years and years. Your grandparents and my great-grandparents and great-grandparents have been smoking and drinking ever since it was a fucking cool thing to do. And guess what? Not all of them died from cancer. So why is it so fucking crazy right now? Does that not make you question? Does that not make you think of fucking something is up? Something's fucking going on. Why is cancer, what the fuck is going on there? Something is fucking up. Or we could just say, oh yeah, that's what happens. It happens every now and then. Cancer escalates and, that kind of shit. I'm done fucking sitting around and saying, yeah, this happens because of this, or this happens because of that, or, I'm a logical motherfucking person. Okay? And, I've talked about this before, the autism and the fucking, sorry, I'm having a brain fart. The autism and the fucking Alzheimer's and the fucking, the memory loss and the fucking cancer and that kind of shit is at an all-time high. There's got to be a reason. We got to figure it out, man. I come from a little town in Ohio. It's a little Bellevue, Ohio, and there's a town right next door. It's called Clyde, Ohio. And they've had all these children that have been diagnosed with brain cancer and all kinds of different kinds of cancer, and they can't figure it out. They call it the cancer cluster, and they haven't been able to put their finger on it. They're still studying it right now. I mean, they've had big documentary shows come in and study this, and they've done documentaries on it, and they still just can't figure out why this is happening, or why all these kids have been affected. I mean, these kids born after me, so there's something that happened there. Well, what the theory is around the townspeople, my dad told me and a lot of people that there's an old company that used to exist there, and they used to, this is before EPA and all that, those regulations were around, and they used to take their their chemicals and they'd pump them into the ground. They'd shoot all their chemicals into the ground and blah, blah. And Whirlpool, there's a Whirlpool plant there that did the same thing with all kinds of nasty chemicals and oils and shit that they shouldn't have been releasing. They'd pump them into the ground. Well, they did this outside of town, and they did it for a long time, for, good 10, 15 years. And, hazardous, toxic chemicals. And, what a lot of them, my dad and a lot of people from his era and time believe is that, them doing that for so long, that's no good, and that shit has got into the water supply, and it's in the ground now, and it's, it's contaminated the water, so all these kids coming up drinking that shit have gotten cancer and different kinds of diseases from it, which, that's not too far-fetched to think. That's kind of fucking, it doesn't test me too much. It's